The stage is set, and the prodigal son returns. Matt Stafford coming home to play in our first home playoff game in the NFC North ever. What a wild story. A couple weeks ago, I put out a video where I talked about it. I said, man, this is not what I wanted. I'd rather play Green Bay. I'd rather have that revenge game against Green Bay and not wanting to play Stafford. And I got to say, one thing is, like, when I brought it up, a lot of you dropping in the comments really saying and showing and proving, like, hey, man, as much as this is a tough and weird situation as a Lions fan, what an opportunity for Jared Goff to slay the demon that has been haunting him, to slay the demon that is the organization that drafted him, that then gave him the middle finger and shipped him away like he was worth nothing. And then the Rams go and win that Super Bowl with Stafford, saying, we were missing one piece and we believe it was QB. And they get that piece and then they go ahead and they win it. And this is an opportunity and a stage set for Goff to prove the naysayers wrong and to get out there and to light it up. Win or lose, like, have a phenomenal game, Goff. And it's freaking nuts. I cannot believe that Matt Stafford as a Ram is coming here in what is this momentous. Because what did I tell you before the season began? I said a successful season is winning the division and that first playoff game. And lo and behold, first playoff game is against Stafford. I don't even know. Like, what a wild setup. The NFL getting the narrative that they so desperately wanted. Is that why Decker was not reported as eligible? Brad Allen, you tell me. Wild times to see the return of the prodigal son coming to Detroit. Now, the Rams are red hot. And this could be a tough game. Now, the Lions' intensity is through the roof, and we got back three key pieces defensively, or getting back all three key pieces defensively. However, Sam Laporta hyperextending his knee, watching that happen, getting stuck in the turf and getting bent around and back, he will most likely be a no-go. He's going to be a no-go this week. Hyperextended knee, bone bruise. There's no way that Sam Laporta will be out there, and that's a devastating blow to our offense. Not to mention the shot that St. Brown took, where his rib is obviously very bruised. But we know St. Brown. He will be out there. Followed by Khalif Raymond, our Swiss Army knife. He took that hit too. I think it was his ankle. Losing some key pieces offensively, and that's what's tough about going into that last game. I was hoping that we were going to play starters for the first half and then sit them the back half because it wasn't a necessary win. However, getting to 12 wins, that's the first time the Lions have done it, and the second time they've done it in franchise history. So you play to win the game. And it wouldn't even have mattered with Laporta because that happened with like a minute left in the first half. So, this team thrives under Campbell. And I think one of the coolest things about Stafford coming home in this situation is that he gets to come home, and it'll probably be hard mentally to see what is a completely revamped and different, a revitalized Detroit Lions squad that he never got to experience, the building culture that has been built, that has been laid down, the foundation by Brad Holmes and Campbell, and even ownership and Sheila taking over and running it the right way. So it's got to be an odd feeling, and I heard him say, like, he's excited to come home, and before the game he's going to dap up people and see old faces and go down memory lane. But he said the moment the whistle starts, it's a football game, and it's on. I'm not worried about the intensity level because knowing Campbell, he's coming in here all guns a-blazing. It is going to be Duke Nukem out there, and I am so hyped for this game. I cannot believe that this is what it is. And honestly, it's the right game, and it's not one worth running away from. And so even me saying a couple of weeks ago, being like, oh man, like this is not the one that I want to play. It's really the one that I don't want to lose is what it is. But then there's no faith in what this team is or this squad is. And so, like, redacted. Let's go. Let's host Stafford. Let's dap him up before the game. Let's light up the Rams and prove that they didn't just get the best end of the stick. That they got Stafford, they won their Super Bowl, and then they move on. No, that the Lions have, because of that trade, we've gotten Goff. We have a leader who is gone to the Super Bowl, who has gone as far as we need him to go. Just got to win it. But we've also accumulated all those draft picks. We have built the team that we have built because of it. And now let's get past them, proving you didn't just get the only good side of the stick here, that the Lions also got the good end of the stick. And then we can go on and make this run. And not just make it a one-year run, but make it a viable future, a legacy to be built upon. So, huge game. I cannot believe it, dude. But really, I should believe it because it's poetic. And if there's one thing about sports, it's how they could be so poetic in the end. And there are a ton of different, I saw, narratives going into this weekend and the different teams that are playing each other's different head coaches for other teams, whatever, like the Dallas, McCarthy with Green Bay. But I don't think there's a more beautiful one than what we have here. And I think this would be a triumphant victory like none other in this wildcard weekend. If the Lions can pull off the W. We got back some of those key defensive pieces, so I'm not super worried. I mean, obviously, you got to be a little bit worried, but getting back some of these pieces is huge. Alim McNeill, and even see what the boys were able to do yesterday. And Hutchinson 8, Alim 8, Josh Paschal 8. Like, the boys look good. They are furious. And I understand getting the W against Minnesota, you don't want to just lose that game and roll into the playoffs. You want that ferocity from a victory to bleed straight in, hosting this first playoff game and kicking the crap out of the Rams. So the prodigal son is returning home. However, unlike the father in that story, we as the fathers of Detroit should slay the son. That's a weird. I didn't like it, but you understand. You get it. That is it. Sam Laporta will not be playing. There's no way. That blows. And we're going to have to see what Ben Johnson's able to dial up. But hey, man, that running combo, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Matt Stafford from the other side is going to be looking over and he'll be like, why didn't we ever have a running game in Detroit while I was here? Hey, man, going to be wild. Sunday night, 8 p.m., Lions, Rams. Last year, this time, our season was over, and I stood here and I looked you in the eyes via the cyclops of the camera and said, hey, man, it was fun. It was fun. We did the best we could. This year, we have a whole other week to be amped up, to be excited, and to see what this Lions squad can do, what Dan Campbell can do with these boys, what Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn can do. So, enjoy the week of extra football. Let's hope together that it is prolonged for an extra week and an extra until we're all sitting here drenched in blue Kool-Aid from the Gatorade pour. I'm just saying. Go Lions, and hey, go Bills. Miami. Remember when Miami was good? I remember. Everybody's like, oh my God, they're good. And then they were exposed, and the Bills said, oh, you wanted the AFC East? Nope. Beautiful. Go Bills.